Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. We are here in Pilsen as Manchester United are set to take on Viktoria Plzen tonight in the Europa League, the first European away game for Ruben Amorim. And Viktoria Plzen, a lot of you guys at home might not know much about them. I'm not going to lie, I didn't know much about them before I came here, but I've been speaking to a few fans, I've been speaking to a few reporters, and I've been doing a little bit of research on them. And in the form that Manchester United are in, we should not take Viktoria Plzen for granted. We should not come here thinking it's an automatic 3 points. We have to work hard and we have to do the work and put a good team out to go and get them 3 points today, and people will be like, any Manchester United team you put out should beat this team. But they have been doing well. They are unbeaten in the Europa League. They've beat Real Sociedad, a team that Manchester United have struggled against in recent years. They will run very hard. They have a really big work ethic. We're speaking to the manager yesterday. He seems confident that they'll be able to snatch points off Manchester United. The way he was talking about it, the way he was talking about setting up the team, I think they'd be extremely happy with the draw. And that'd be fantastic for them. They're unbeaten in the Europa League. They've got actually the exact same form as Manchester United in terms of draws and wins. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams fare against each other. I mean, in the ideal world and the world that we should be living in, Manchester United should come here and it should be an easy win. But with the form that they're in at the moment, with Ruben Amorim not quite knowing his best team yet, getting the team together, setting up this system, having no time, barely any time on the training ground, it won't be as easy as some people will think. Now, getting your score predictions down below, let me know what you think before I go on and say the team that I would start for Manchester United. And I do think it'll be interesting what team Ruben Amorim does start, because you'd be thinking he'll save his best players for the derby. You would be thinking that. City just got beat again off Juventus. They are going through a crisis, and oh, do I wish that Manchester United were doing well so I could ring up all my City fan friends, which is about 2 of them, and say, look, Manchester United are doing amazing, you're doing terrible. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Stay humble. I've sent humble by Kendrick Lamar to the 2 City friends that I do have. Like, I would absolutely love it, but unfortunately, Manchester United are 13th in the Premier League, and knowing us will hand Manchester City a win to get them back on track. I thought they were going to get back on track after Nottingham Forest, but again, on a downwards trajectory. Pep doesn't look like he knows what's hit him. He looks like he's struggling, and honestly, Manchester City, they are in a crisis. So we have them at the weekend. This is an absolutely huge opportunity for Manchester United to take points off City at the Etihad, something that we have struggled with in recent times, honestly. I know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was good against City, but Erik ten Hag, we got the FA Cup final win, but away at the Etihad, we've had some very dodgy results, and even at home at Old Trafford as well. City have been a little bit of a struggle for us. They've been the best team in the world. They're in a crisis. Of course, all Manchester United fans want to get one over on their rival. Of course, we want to win. Ruben Amorim would be a huge boost for him to get a win at the Etihad. Honestly would be. So you'll be thinking he'll be saving his best players for that game. We know he's all about the rotation. We know he's about keeping players fit and listening to his physios, which is something maybe we haven't done in the last couple of years, as Erik ten Hag did suffer a lot of injuries with the team. But Ruben Amorim's trying to avoid that by doing the rotation. You'd think the best players will play on Sunday. Therefore, if you're playing in this game, it is your opportunity to get yourself in front of the manager and say, hello, I'm here, I want to be starting games, and I'm going to give you them results. Because like I said yesterday, I don't think anybody has knocked the door down and said, I'm an absolute 100% starter in this team, apart from Ugarte, De Ligt, Mazraoui, and probably Bruno. But Bruno, is because he's the captain. It's not as if he's been putting in 10 out of 10 performances. He's been better, but he's not been putting in 10 out of 10 performances. So that's how you'd kind of look at it. Obviously, Onana, the keeper. But in terms of the background of Viktoria Plzen and what they can offer Manchester United, because I know not a lot of people know a lot about this team. I've got a little bit of facts to bring in here. So Pilsen are unbeaten in this term's Europa League game and have won their last 2 games 2-1 against Real Sociedad and Dynamo Kiev. So 2 decent teams, and they've gone there and won 2-1. They've gone and beat Real Sociedad 2-1. And Manchester United have struggled to beat Real Sociedad in recent times. It's always been a tough match with them. So that puts things into perspective a little bit. They've knocked out Hearts to reach this stage of the competition. And if you're looking at kind of how they fared against PAOK, who Manchester United did beat, they drew away to PAOK, and we obviously beat them 2-0, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was under Ruud van Nistelrooy, where we did have that little bit of the new manager bounce. And to be honest, PAOK were actually half decent for the majority of that game. I think Christian Eriksen scored a good goal, and we kind of finished it off there, so they're looking forward for the game. They're looking forward to the game tonight. Everyone keeps saying it's like, it's like Beyonce's rocked up into town or something. It is like a footballing holiday here over in Pilsen, a small town, a lovely town. As you can see behind me, the village is absolutely fantastic. The Christmas markets, I'm going to be going over there literally after I finish this video and looking for some food and a nice little hot drink. It is stunning. It is cold, as you can see by my attire, but everyone's really excited for Manchester United coming, and we still hold that weight as a club. But a lot of the fans are confident that they can get a result. I'm telling you that now, because Manchester United are 13th in the Prem and they're not doing too great, let's be honest. Ruben Amorim, can he change this though? Europa League, super important for him. I've said it, everyone said it. It's our way into the Champions League. Ruben Amorim was speaking in his press conference. We want to win the Champions League. We want to win the Premier League. That is my aim. Of course, that's an aim of a Manchester United manager, but in a realistic sense, he's not going to want to say it because, you have Ange Postecoglou saying, I always win things in my second season, and it's not looking that great. You don't want to look foolish as a manager maybe later down the line, but he absolutely will be desperate to win this Europa League to get in the Champions League because he needs money. He needs money for transfers. I mean, there's articles coming out about us potentially maybe having to sell a Garnacho or a Kobbie Mainoo. Absolutely not. We need money. Champions League is a way to get that. We're not going to get it through the Premier League. Europa League is absolutely huge, and I'd probably say the only team in there that really worries me on the day in a final that could beat us is Spurs, but they're not going through a fantastic spell. We should be beating these teams. We've got to. I know we do sometimes slip up against the smaller teams that make things difficult with a low block, but we've got to go out there and get the job done. You have to as Manchester United. Now, what team will Ruben Amorim put out? It's so hard to predict, but this is my prediction. Onana in goal. I think it'll be a back three of Maguire, Lisandro Martinez, and I think he'll potentially rest Lenny Yoro maybe in this game because of match fitness. So Maguire, Lisandro Martinez, and will he go with Yoro or De Ligt? He could go with Mazraoui. I'm trying to think about it. No, okay. So I think it's going to be, you can tell I've not planned this beforehand, Onana, Martinez, Maguire and Yoro. I think the wing backs will be, I think Ahmad and Dallo will both get rested. I think it'll be Malacia and Mazraoui actually, I think will play at wing back because he didn't start the last game. Mazraoui will play in this game, whether he plays at centre back or whether he plays at wing back. I'd personally like to see him at wing back because I know how well he can play left or right side centre back. We've seen it. I think going forward he has a lot to offer. You've seen that goal that he set up for Rasmus. I can't remember the team now, but it was a fantastic goal. Rasmus hit it on the volley. I think he can give you a bit going forward. So I would have Mazraoui at wing back on the right side, and we know Malacia is going to start on the left side. I think your two midfielders will be Bruno and Casemiro. I think he'll play Bruno a little bit deeper in this game. I think you can afford to, and I think that's how we'll do it. We know Bruno plays every game. Casemiro's not played in like 2 games, so I do think he will get the nod to impress. And I think your 2 10s in front will be Marcus Rashford and Mason Mount. Although Christian Eriksen has been completely frozen out, so it'll be interesting to see if he manages to get himself in the starting 11 for tonight. And I think your striker up front will be Joshua Zirkzee. I'll be gobsmacked if Marcus Rashford doesn't start this game. He's not started the last 2. Same for Casemiro. He hasn't started the last 2. Christian Eriksen got subbed in his first game, Amorim's first game against Ipswich. I think it was around the 66th minute. It was in the 60th, 70th minute, I'm pretty sure, and he's not seen a minute of football since, and was left out of the squad. So Amorim clearly wasn't happy with his performance. It's a bit of ruthlessness there from him. Anthony seems like he doesn't fancy him either. I know he started in that game against Bodo Glimt, but he's not really seen a minute since, whereas Malacia has. So it'll be interesting to see the players that have been on the back burner, will they get into the starting 11? But you can only play 11. He does have to save Ugarte for the Manchester derby. In an ideal world, you want to be saving De Ligt for the Manchester derby as well. I think he's been our best performing centre-back. Yoro maybe might get left out because of fitness at this stage, but it would be nice to see him get that fitness up. And if he plays half a game and then De Ligt comes on for him, that might be nice to see as well. Victor Lindelof has actually travelled, so he's getting himself back fit. We know Ruben Amorim's actually played with him before, which is absolutely crazy to think they have played together, so he'll have a relationship with him. So it'll be interesting to see what team he does pick, but that's my just a shot in the dark prediction. Get in your prediction for who you think will start. down below. And who needs to impress in this game? I think Mason Mount needs to impress. I think he's done decently well, but you know, he's had quite a few games back from injury now. I want to see some Mason Mount magic. I want to see why we paid 60 million for him. So I think he needs a good game. I think Marcus Rashford is absolutely desperate for a good game. Obviously, the Manchester derby is going to want to be starting in that. If Arsenal, Nottingham Forest are anything to go by, he's not going to be starting. He's been poor. He really needs a good game tonight. He really does. So Marcus Rashford, especially with all the sale news, so shocked Amorim didn't get asked about that in the press conference, by the way. I'm sure he'll get asked about that later on. I think Xerxes needs a good game. Rasmus Højlund seems to have secured himself as that number 9. Casemiro definitely needs a good game. He's been kind of frozen out the last couple of games. So they're the players I think that really do need to put a shift in and really do need to put a performance in tonight. But let me know who you're looking out for in the comments down below. What is my score prediction? I am going to go with a score prediction of 2-0 to Manchester United. I'm going with 2-0 to Manchester United. I think it'll be quite edgy. I think it'll be tough. I think they will give us a game, but I think we will get it over the line. Let me know in the comments what your predictions are. Who are my scorers? My scorers are going to be Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. Get in the comments down below what yours are, and I will see you on the next one, everyone. We'll bring the content to you guys. Look forward to the build-up show later. I will be calling into that, so make sure you stay tuned. I'll be at the Doosan Arena calling into that, so stay tuned for that. Hit a like on the video if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. And come on, Manchester United.